Before we get started today, I just wanted to take a minute to invite all of you to sign up for our upcoming workshop that we've got going on. It is called
Build a Profitable Landscaping Business Every Single Month.
How Any Landscaper
Yes, how any landscaper
can build a profitable landscaping business every single month. It's long, it's a mouthful, but it's going to be great. We have done a lot of revamping here at the Million Dollar Landscaper. In the last couple of months, we hired a coach, and so we've been working with him to help make our business even better. We've made a lot of improvements based on the feedback that we have gotten from working with hundreds of you all in the past 5 years. So we've really, spit and polished, just scrubbed up our offers. So we can better help you all based on the kinds of help that you guys want and need and can fit into your lives. So sign up for that webinar if you want to have a chance to chat with us about our new offers that we've got coming out. We've got Profits Up Estimating for landscapers, which is our course where you can learn your numbers, get your estimates down, make those dollar bills. That's what you're here for. Then we've got Profits Up Inner Circle, which is your chance to get shit done in your business. It's all the systems, procedures, checklists, all the things you need to keep your business up and running, and that you should be doing, but you're not. This is your chance to actually get them done. We'll give you the templates. All you got to do is show up with a smile. You don't even have to think about it beforehand. Just show up. We've got everything for you. This is your chance to just show up and get it done.
Yep. And we're very excited about that. So if you're interested in the webinar, we do have 2 dates this month of September. So we have September 12th and 21st. They're at 7 p.m. Central Time. So go head over to milliondollarlandscaper.com/build, BUILD, and get signed up today.
Yep. We want to take a quick second to tell you about our friends over at Cycle CPA. I can't even express to you how important it is to have a good accountant on your side. You want accurate bookkeeping and financial statements every month. Instead, you're often left with limited time to focus on the accounting side of your business and no reports to show for it. At Cycle CPA, the landscaping accountants, they not only handle the bookkeeping, but also provide landscape industry benchmarking, job costing, financials by service line, advisory meetings, and much more. Cycle CPA has a team of landscaping accountants available to provide anything from bookkeeping to CFO services. Visit cyclecpa.com, and for $100 off, mention the Million Dollar Landscaper podcast.
Easy Beasy's easy to use, easy to learn, affordable work order and time clock app with unlimited users included with every subscription. If you've ever struggled with the daily grind of keeping track of work orders, you have to check out Easy Beasy. Make and edit work orders anytime, anywhere you're working, at your desk, in your truck, on the job site, even on your couch. With Easy Beasy, you can easily copy work orders to use over and over, which is great for mowing and plowing. You can also keep track of employee timesheets, contact your customers, add notes, instructions, even pictures of your jobs. Easy Beasy works on Android and Apple devices or any tablet or computer. Easy Beasy also has a wide variety of reports so you can have all the info you need for billing right from your phone. Say goodbye to paying for extra users because everyone gets unlimited users on Easy Beasy. Try Easy Beasy for free for 30 days. Visit easybeasy.app/MDL to sign up. Easy Beasy is a simple work order and time clock app for mow crews, hardscape crews, and everything in between. Start saving time and money with Easy Beasy. Visit easybeasy.app/MDL to sign up today.
All right. Today I want to talk about, are you overwhelmed or are you just under-supported? Mm-hmm. Deep thoughts. Because it's easy for a lot of us to get into a state of overwhelm. We've all got business, family, life. You're supposed to, make sure you're drinking enough water every day and getting 10,000 steps in and 8 hours of sleep and all these other things you're supposed to be doing on top of running a business and, having a family and staying sane. Yeah, nobody's got anything going on. But the best explanation that I've ever heard for overwhelm, I actually heard from one of my coaches that I get coached from, and she described it like this. It's like going to the grocery store and not getting a cart. Like you got no buggy. You are trying to hold on to everything you need from that store. And you think that you're like, I'm just going to get a few things. It's fine. I got this. I can hold all of it. I don't need a cart. But then, you see spaghetti sauce and you're like, oh yeah, we needed that. And then you remember, oh my gosh, my wife texted me that we need, bread and milk. And so then you're grabbing that. And then you see the only brand of granola bars that your kids will eat is on sale. So you grab 4 of those boxes. So all of a sudden your arms are just full and you're going to start dropping things. If you continue to just add and add and add, you're going to start dropping stuff. So and I think this is how most of us are approaching running our business, and our lives for that matter. So it's just really no wonder that we get overwhelmed. There's just too many things. There's just too many things on our plate. So what most of us don't do is put any kind of support systems in place for all of the things that we got going on. So in that analogy, that your support system would be your grocery cart. So if you are overwhelmed in your business and in your life, just take a sec to just think about all the things that you're trying to hold on to with no support. Like if you actually sit and take 3 minutes to write this down, yeah, Scott just went, phew.
It's a big list.
It's a big list. And is it reasonable to put all of that on yourself without a cart?
Well, most of us do. Most of us
Yeah,
do.
but is it reasonable?
I didn't say it's reasonable, but most of us do.
It's not. And then add everything, when especially once you add it all up. Because think of all the things you're trying to keep together for your business. And then add everything you're trying to keep together for your personal and family life on top of that. It just keeps getting worse. No wonder we are all feeling overwhelmed. So, because a lot of us think that we have a problem like getting things done and, oh my gosh, why can't I get my crap together? I'm just so far behind. Everybody else has it together and I don't. Trust me, they don't either. But anyway, but it's easy to get down on yourself when you kind of think of it like that. But the truth is that you have probably just recklessly overcommitted to things. Once again, think about all the things that you're trying to hold in your arms without a buggy. So what can you do about it? Without making this too long of an episode, the quickest and easiest thing you can do is, like I said, just take a minute and just brain dump, write it all down. Just get it all out on paper. Just write it all out. It doesn't matter how little or insignificant it seems. If it's on your mind, then it's important to you and it's taking up real estate in your brain. Just write it all down. And then what I'd like to do next is you take a big fat red marker and just cross some things off the list. What do you not need to be worrying about right now? And it's not saying that you mark them off the list forever. This is just a not right now. Like someday I would love to learn a second language, but I don't need to have that on my list of like things to do right now. It's just a not right now thing. So what do you have that's been taking up mental real estate or that you've been trying to hold on to that's just a not right now thing? I mean, Scott's had to let some things go.
A lot.
He's on a dive team for the fire department, and he let go of being the captain of that dive team. It's not because he doesn't like the dive team. It's not because, he was like, screw this, I'm done. It was just, is this something that I need to be doing right now?
Yeah, I literally had to step back, and it was a very hard decision. You helped me, coaching me through this, but it was a hard decision because I enjoyed it. I liked being in charge of the dive team, and it was just time for me to kind of let somebody else take the reins for a while and see where it goes. I can always go back to it, I'm sure, at some point, but...
Exactly. It's just a not right now. And one of the things I like to think of, too, is like when the kids were playing soccer, like club soccer, I didn't volunteer to work in the concession stand. It was like $25 to pay to not have to do it. I paid the $25 because this was a couple, like 4 years back when we were still just getting $1 Million Landscaper up and started. And I was still working full time as an ecologist. And so I was working on the business in the evenings in the car or while they're at their soccer games and practices. And so we had a little Chromebook I took with me and we working on it because that's what I had to do at the time. And so did I need to add, did I need to shove trying to work the kids' concession stand in with this? No, I chose to just pay the money and take it off my plate. Yep. But then fast forward a few years, then our son was playing high school soccer. Things were a little bit less chaotic. I did volunteer and do my due diligence then. We both, helped out and did stuff then. So you just have to learn to just pick and choose, and you can't do everything, and you can't be everywhere for everybody all at once.
Well, that kind of brings up a good point. How you said you just paid somebody else to do that. Well,
yeah.
Not paid somebody else to do it, but you just paid to do that. Somebody else took that over. There's a lot of things in business that you can delegate off and pay somebody else or pay something to get
That's
done.
further down in my notes, so we will get there. But what I want you to do is now get down to like your bare bones level of commitments, like for real, especially if you are overwhelmed to the point to where like you're losing sleep, you're having migraines, you're having illnesses. Sorry, these are all the things that happen to us. Sleep gets lost, the migraines start. When all of
weird
that
rashes.
Yeah, Scott's had the weird rashes. When that starts, that's when you need to get down to the bare bones of commitments of you hold on to the things that you need to, keep your business afloat and keep your family together. But other than that, you might have to just let it go. For now. It doesn't mean for later. So then look at your list of what do you have left on your list? Then what support do you need for the things that you do have left on your list? How can you get support for what is left? Do you just need a capturing system for your thoughts? Scott and I both use a program called Asana. It is free because I have 687 million ideas every day for what I want to do inside of this business, but I can't physically keep them all in my brain. And so I have to have somewhere that I can put them and be like, okay, well, this would be good for Profits Up estimating. Oh, this would be a good idea for a podcast. Oh, this would be a good idea for our inner circle. I keep that all in Asana. Then I don't have to think about it anymore, and it's written down. So whether or not we do that podcast now or in 2 years from now, I have it written down somewhere. It's safe.
Well, we all get these ideas and things that come in our head all the time of how we can improve our business, what we can do different. But if it's anything like me, you have 10 million things go on in your head, so you have to write it down. Otherwise, it's going to be gone like that. So.
Yeah. So that helps free up some of that mental space. And then, do you need a coach? Do you need a mentor? Do you need a consultant? Go back and listen to the episode that was right before this one from last week. We talked about the difference between a mentor, a coach, and a consultant. You might be at the point where you need some help. What kind of help do you need? And get that set up. Get some support set up. And then now, like what Scott had touched on, do you need to find a who and not a how? Sometimes you don't need to figure out how to get something done. You need to figure out who can do it for you, or who you can pay to do it, or who else can do it. You need to figure out how to get that off your plate and not your job anymore.
Is this a book too?
It is a book.
That's
yes.
what I thought,
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, yes, it's a book. It's called Who Not How by Benjamin Hardy. It's a very good book, good read. But if you want just like the gist of it, so because you don't have time to go read, and reading books is on your list of things that you just don't have time for right now, that's okay. The moral of the story is just who can you find so you don't have to figure out how or figure out how to do it yourself.
Yeah.
And then after that, you can start just slowly adding things back to your life one by one. Because it is okay to have a lot of things on your plate, and it's okay, but you have to do it in a way that's manageable to you. And that's going to be different for every single person. You might have a friend that's like doing what seems to be like more than you, and they're doing fine. But well, that's okay for them. If they're handling it, if they're handling their stuff, they're handling their stuff. Don't have any shame around feeling like you're not doing enough or you've got to keep up with the Joneses. You really need to set your life up to what works for you and your amount of mental load. Scott can handle way more things than I can. I spiral out of control way before he does, and I know that. And for a long time, I would feel bad about that because I would ask you for help, or I would feel like you have to do more because I can't. But I'm not any use to our business or our family if I'm to the point that I'm just mentally spinning out, because then I get to where I just do nothing. So.
Well, and this is what leads to a lot of that burnout, because you're overwhelmed and you have all these things going on and you're trying to figure it out. And like Gary Vaynerchuk, he's the hustle. I agree. There's part of that you do have to hustle in the business, but
I don't know any landscapers that aren't hustling.
Yeah.
I just don't. Maybe they exist out there and I just don't know them, but I don't know any that are just sitting on their butt doing nothing.
But just because you're hustling doesn't mean you're going to get ahead. There has to be some planning and all that stuff into it.
Yeah, and you have to be hustling on the right things.
Yes.
And we could get into that whole conversation, but the point I was trying to get to was just own where you're at and own who you are and know your limits and know what you can and cannot do. And then get the support. If you need a coach, if you need a mentor, if you need some help, get the help that you need, because you're always going to have stress in your life. When people come to me and they're like, there's just too much, you have to remember that a little bit of some stressors are okay. It's just how many of those you have in your life and how you manage them. because it's like, what are you going to get rid of, your job or your kids? Because think about it. Those are usually the things that are most stressful in your life. There's kids, there's jobs, aging parents. All of those things are very stressful. You don't necessarily want to get rid of them. You just need to design your life around those stressors so you can handle those stressors and everything else that is going on. So it's not that you need to eliminate all stress from your life. It's you just need to get it down to a reasonable level. Stop overcommitting.
That's a big one.
Right? For both of us. Stop overcommitting and get it down to a manageable level. So if working on your business is on that list, let us support you. Let us be a who for you. Let us help you out. If you need to start implementing systems and procedures in your business, and you've been like, oh, I know I've needed to do that. I know I should be doing that. I've heard of system procedures, but I'm not really sure where I should start. If any of those things are popping up in your mind, you're going to want to look into our Profits Up Inner Circle. Because what we have done is we're going to give you every month the templates, everything you need to get a system procedure checklist, one bit of that done in your business. So you don't have to take on the mental load of trying to figure out what to do, how to get it done, when to do it, all that. We've done all that for you.
One thing I want to throw in here is goes along lines with what you're talking about with the overwhelm and the systems. Mm-hmm. We see this over and over again. Landscapers, they get out there, they're hustling, they're getting more jobs, they hire more people, they get more trucks. And then, an employee messes up, and then, customers start complaining, all these employee issues start coming around, and you don't have the systems in place to handle all this and how to deal with all this. And those employees get you so fed up and you're so overwhelmed. You're like, I'm going to go back to how it was when I had myself and maybe one or two other people, and that's it. And they go back down. It's because they don't have these systems. They get overwhelmed and they have to step back because they can't handle all this. Mm-hmm. That's where the systems come in play. And this is where we can.
Yes, for a lot of people, it's easier to step back into what they're comfortable with than to push through and do the hard thing and get the help.
Yep.
So their business can grow.
Yep. And it continues. I've seen it before. And landscapers, they step back and then they start building up again, and employees are just terrible. And then step back and it's just this vicious cycle. It goes over and over again.
Yes, so but if you've got the systems in place to be your support,
yep.
to be your grocery buggy, to be your cart, if you have systems in place, it gives your employees direction and it gives your business structure and direction. So that takes off some of that mental load off of you. Because once you can get your teams up and running and your business up and running in a way that you want it to, it's less fires that you have to put out immediately every day. We're not saying things aren't going to still come up. That will always happen. That is life. But you can get it down to that manageable level, like we talked about, to where you're not overwhelming yourself and burning yourself out.
Yep. So definitely go check that out. And like we said, we have the webinar coming up September 12th and 21st. Didn't realize the numbers are, what do they call that when they're reversed like that?
I don't know.
Anyhow, so we get in those webinars. They're happening at 7 p.m. Central Time. We're going to talk about these systems and how you can build a profitable business every single month, no matter where you're at in your business. So get signed up for that. Head over to milliondollarlandscaper.com/build, BUILD.
Yeah, let us be a who for one of your hows. You don't have to figure out how to do systems and procedures. You don't have to figure out how to get and learn your numbers and get estimates right. Let us be your who. We've already figured that all out. Let us help you.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us and have a great day.